This is UIN Urban Internet News. National news and information for and about people of color.
Thanks for listening to UIN Urban Internet News. I'm Alexander Caden, along with Erin Mays, Don Watkins, and Inga Davis. Here's some things that are happening in the news. Multiple reports out of Chicago say the arrests in Jussie Smollett's attack case have revealed that the actor and two men arrested who were Nigerians and extras on the set of Empire helped him stage the attack as he feared he was being written out of the show. A new R. Kelly sex tape allegedly featuring the singer with another underage girl has been turned over to the Cook County Prosecutor's Office in Chicago. According to reporters at CNN who have seen the tape, the footage is clear, explicit, and mirrors many of the alleged acts for which Kelly was arrested for child pornography in 2002. Now, before I continue, I have to tell you it might be a little graphic. There are two scenes on the video, one apparently in the living room and another in a bedroom of a naked man who appears to be R. Kelly, seen performing multiple sex acts with a young girl. She's heard calling him daddy multiple times and telling him her 14-year-old stuff is all his. And she told it to him 6 times. At one point, the man asked the girl to urinate. After she does, he urinates on her. A lawyer who is representing a man he calls a whistleblower against Kelly says he handed the tape to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office in Chicago last weekend. His client knows the identity of the girl and R. Kelly. He's the one who's identified the two of them on the videotape. He worked for and has known R. Kelly for decades, and he met the girl on a number of occasions. Now, this might be where the story of R. Kelly really begins to end. House and Senate negotiators have agreed in principle to provide a little over $1.25 billion for fencing and other physical barriers at the Mexican border. It's part of a broader agreement without funding the president's wall. The agreement would allow for 55 miles of new fencing with some restrictions on location based on community and environmental concerns. While Washington continues to debate funding over President Trump's long-promised border wall along the southern border, Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican from Texas, says he has a suggestion. Why not have El Chapo Guzman foot the bill? Cruz tweeted the proposal after Guzman was found guilty on all 10 counts in his criminal conspiracy and drug trafficking trial, saying that the $14 billion in drug profits U.S. prosecutors are seeking from the drug lord should go towards funding the wall to secure the border. Sounds good to me. Now all they have to do is get that $14 billion. Another woman of color has announced her entrance into the crowded mayor's race in Chicago. West Side lawyer and activist Amara Inya has announced her candidacy, and African-American women voters in Chicago could flex their muscles at the ballot box to help make history by electing her the city's first black woman mayor. During a national prayer breakfast, President Donald Trump told an audience of global religious leaders that America's greatest accomplishments included the abolition of civil rights.
Since the founding of our nation, many of our greatest strides, from gaining our independence to abolition of civil rights to extending the vote for women, have been led by people of faith and started in prayer.
Director Spike Lee says he no longer will wear Gucci or Prada until the brands hire some black designers following a pair of blackface fashion fails. The personal boycott in the midst of movie award season was a powerful message to luxury fashion houses that are already suffering backlashes for designs evoking racist images. Gucci apologized for a high-neck black wool sweater that featured bright red lips when pulled over the face, while Prada apologized for a monkey bag chain resembling blackface. The Michael Jackson estate has sent a letter to UK's Channel 4 warning that a documentary on two men who accuse the singer of molesting them as boys violates the network's programming guidelines. The 3-page document echoes a longer letter sent to HBO calling the allegations disgraceful and urging an investigation of the men's background. Prosecutors asked Illinois' highest court to review the less than 7-year prison sentence for the white Chicago police officer who was convicted in the shooting death of black teenager Laquan McDonald. The Illinois Attorney General and the special prosecutor who won a murder conviction against the former officer said they believe the Cook County judge improperly applied the law when he sentenced the officer to 6 years and 9 months in prison. In a rare move, they're requesting that the Illinois Supreme Court send the case back for a new sentence. If you're into symphony music and things like that, Julius P. Williams has been named president of the Conductors Guild, a global membership organization comprised of conductors of symphony, opera, ballet, choral, band, contemporary, and chamber ensembles. Dr. Williams is the first African-American president in Conductors Guild history. Louisville is renaming its airport after Muhammad Ali. City officials announced that Louisville International Airport will be renamed after the boxer and humanitarian often called the greatest. The new name, Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. With weed being legal in California, Iron Mike Tyson wants a piece of the action. The former boxing superstar is setting up his own marijuana-related venture called Tyson Ranch. It's in California City. It'll have 20 acres of farming for professional marijuana growers, an amphitheater, supply store, campground, and a factory for edibles. The location is also expected to have a Tyson cultivation school to give growers the chance to teach the latest ways to perfect their own strains. Tyson is hoping his latest venture will be a knockout, which it should be as long as he grows the best chronic or fire, or whatever they're calling it now. Greg Lewis, a Portland, Oregon police sergeant who was fired for making racial remarks about killing black people during a roll call meeting, has been recently approved by the Portland City Council to receive a settlement that would erase his firing and consider him rehired instead.
What?
In February of 2017, Lewis reportedly told about 20 police officers that if they come across a black homeless person, just shoot him.
Oh, hell no!
That generated laughter in the room. Lewis reportedly then laughed and threw up his hands in the air and said, "F it, what do I care?"
What?
Lewis was fired in early February of 2018, a year after the incident, but his remarks have only been made public in 2019. The Portland City Council voted 4-1 to approve the settlement that would give him back pay of over $100,000 and reinstate him, allowing him to retire and overturn his termination under the condition that he would no longer be eligible to work for the city. He'll also receive pension credits throughout his retirement.
Oh, hell no! You've been listening to UIN Urban Internet News. For more national news and information for and about people of color, visit our website at uinews.net.